was your reaction when the team took him, early in that second round?
Saints second-year quarterback Spencer Rattler is getting ready to compete with rookie quarterback Tyler Shough for the starting job for the Saints. Recently though, Spencer Rattler shared his reaction to what he thought when the team drafted Tyler Shough early on in the second round of the 2025 NFL Draft under a month ago. And now with the odds against Spencer Rattler, he's going to have a lot to prove going into year 2 as he competes for the starting job against the rookie Tyler Shough. Before we get more into this, I'd appreciate it if you would help us reach 10K. We're super close. We're a little over 100 away as of right now. So I'd appreciate it if you would take 5 seconds to subscribe, help support the channel, like the video, and stay up to date with all Saints and NFL content we'll be posting here daily. We just heard from Saints second-year quarterback Spencer Rattler for the first time this offseason, and a lot has happened since the last time we heard from Spencer Rattler at the end of the 2024 season back in January during the locker room cleanouts. Since we last heard from Spencer Rattler, Derek Carr, the veteran, the starting quarterback originally for the Saints, retired from the NFL, leaving a wide open competition for the Saints starting quarterback job, and then the team drafted Tyler Shough at the 40th overall pick in the second round to likely be the team's starting quarterback. And I thought I'd even at least share this. Spencer Rattler was at Patrick Mahomes' charity event this past weekend, so he was out there as well, and how similar do these guys look? It's pretty crazy. And hopefully some of Patrick Mahomes' devil magic wore off on Spencer Rattler. Anyway though, Spencer Rattler was asked about these events that transpired this offseason and a little bit more at the Saints Hall of Fame golf tournament just a few days ago. And let's start off with what Spencer Rattler had to say about his reaction to finding out the team was drafting Tyler Shough, essentially to take his job as the starting quarterback on the team, and now they're going to have a competition. Here's what Rattler had to say when he was asked about his reaction to the Saints drafting Shough.
I did compete with him.
What was your reaction when the team took him, early in that second round?
It wasn't surprising to me. I knew with Derek possibly retiring, we needed another guy. But you can't control that. That's out of your control. Control what you can.
Spencer Rattler not being surprised about this is a good thing. It means he didn't feel entitled to the starting job. He was smart enough to know the situation, and I kind of figured he knew the situation and the circumstances, and that drafting a quarterback was very likely for the Saints. But surely Spencer Rattler is pissed. He said control what you can control, and surely he is a little bit upset because he had a clear path to being the team's starting quarterback for essentially the whole season before the team drafted Tyler Shough. And now his chances of becoming a starter for the Saints right now are very slim. When he was at Oklahoma, they brought in Caleb Williams to take his job when he was the #1 recruit in the country. So obviously he was a 5th round pick with a whole new coaching staff. Obviously they would want to bring in their own quarterback, and he wasn't entitled to anything. He's not a dumb person. He's a smart guy. Now he's going to go compete with Tyler Shough. It's a good thing he wasn't surprised, and he kind of was preparing for it. And then he also mentioned how his experience in the NFL his rookie year may give him an edge over Tyler Shough in this upcoming competition.
How much of an edge do you think you potentially have having more reps, more experience, and starting some games in the NFL last year compared to him, being a rookie?
No doubt. I think it helps a lot, just with the speed of everything, understanding, what you're going to see week in, week out, what the prep takes. So just want to take that all up to another level and just keep honing my craft and keep getting better.
Could you have envisioned going into year 2 with the most regular season starts of anybody in the quarterback room?
Probably not, right? I mean,
that's pretty crazy. 6 starts in the NFL, and he has the most starts in the Saints quarterback room with the average age of 24 years old. 2 rookies, and Jake Haener only has 1 start. That's pretty wild.
But, it is what it is. Was grateful to get those starts last year. Hopefully get to build on that this year.
The one edge that Spencer Rattler has over Tyler Shough is playing time in the NFL. I think people have forgotten that Spencer Rattler has already been in an NFL quarterback battle. Last offseason, it was the QB2 battle between him and Jake Haener. Granted, Jake Haener might not actually be an NFL quarterback, and Tyler Shough, I think, is a lot better than him. But Spencer Rattler has already been through those motions, and he beat out Jake Haener last season. He's been through the motions of an NFL offseason, the camps, minicamp, rookie camp, training camp, an NFL season. He's played in NFL games against NFL competition in a bad situation, and he looked really good and promising at times, while also having some struggles. And now something he definitely has over Tyler Shough is that he had a full NFL offseason to prepare and get ready for year 2. Right now, Tyler Shough is going through the motions of a rookie. He went from being in college to playing college football to going to the combine to going to meetings to being drafted to moving. It is non-stop. He's not going to be able to catch his breath until next offseason because it's just non-stop going for the rookie quarterback. Spencer Rattler now has had a full NFL offseason to prepare for this moment and kind of adjust and get ready to compete. Kellen Moore earlier this offseason had this to say about Spencer Rattler, said he was a really good player, has tons of tools, and that they were excited to continue and build in development as he goes through the second offseason, and that the second offseason for a lot of guys is a huge jump, and it's probably the most important offseason. You go from nonstop going as a rookie to figuring out how to adjust to NFL speed and how to improve your craft going into year 2 and how to use your time wisely. And if you've been keeping up all offseason, Spencer Rattler has been working basically the entire offseason since the season ended. He's been training out in Arizona. If you've been looking at his Instagram stories, his tags, his posts, his quarterback coach's social medias, he's been nonstop grinding this offseason, getting ready for his opportunity. And from the sounds of it, Spencer Rattler actually sounded like he knew Derek Carr was going to retire before a lot of people, including the media, said he wasn't surprised by the retirement, which also played a factor as to why he wasn't surprised when they drafted Tyler Shough, because he knew with Derek Carr retiring was on the table, that was going to have to be at consideration.
I was surprised to hear Derek retire, because we kind of all were.
Yeah, you know, we wasn't surprised, wasn't surprised, but I'm just happy for him. You know, he did a lot for me, helped me out a ton, and you know, like he said I could reach out to him whenever, so I think that's special. I think he was a good leader for us, and much respect for him.
So Spencer Rattler having experience in the NFL and getting the upper hand and knowing Derek Carr was going to retire and getting to work immediately after his rookie year, knowing that information that not many had, gives him a little bit more of an upper hand and a little bit more edge than Tyler Shough, as well as having the most experience in the quarterback room. But he's working against the fact that Tyler Shough is Kellen Moore's guy. This offensive staff, this new coaching staff wanted to draft him and essentially drafted him to be the starter. And it's up to Spencer Rattler to change their minds during these camps. Spencer Rattler said he's known Tyler Shough for a little while now, and he has some respect for him from their time in Arizona coming up. This is what Rattler had to say about his relationship with Tyler Shough.
Just keep taking it day by day. I think it's a tight QB room already. I've known Shough for a while now, being from Arizona, and obviously Hayner's here. So it's a tight-knit room. Love the coaches, love the guys in there, and we're just working right now.
So it's good to know about this is that this competition is between two guys who know each other and respect each other, and things kind of aren't in a bad spot. Spencer Rattler knew him growing up. Tyler Shough knew him growing up. There's no bad blood there, and the best guy is hopefully going to win the job. How weird would it have been if they didn't know each other and Tyler Shough just coming in, Spencer Rattler, I'm assuming it would have been hard to have a mutual respect for each other if you didn't at least know each other from a previous time. So in my opinion, them knowing each other already before he got drafted, I think is at least a little bit important in terms of the competitiveness in this competition. That's just my personal take. I know a lot of people have different opinions on that. And Spencer Rattler even gave some insight to the new offensive system and scheme under new head coach Kellen Moore coming over from the Philadelphia offense. And a lot of people have said that his offensive system and scheme is one that fits his players and what they do best, more so than making their players fit into a system and specific scheme. They base it around their players, while on top of having a basic foundation of plays and what they do. Here's what he had to say about Kellen Moore and his offense.
So it was a good time, man. Had some fun.
Just as far as the season and the opportunity you have, what you did last season and now kind of a blank slate with the new coaching staff, how exciting is that for you?
Super exciting. I mean, loving the new staff, obviously loving the team. We've had a great, 3-4 weeks so far of our phase 1 and 2, and just looking forward to starting out Tuesday and OTAs, get on that field, spin the rocker.
OTAs is starting today. As I'm recording this, I'm excited to see what the media has to say about them when they are able to go there and report about what's happening and going on.
Around with the guys and just keep implementing this offense. I'm enjoying it, looking forward to the opportunity.
Kellen's talked a lot about the language and how much he thinks about it and how much he tries to make it easily digestible and understandable. Is there anything about just the language of the offense that stands out to you and how it's put together?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely less wordy than last year.
That's good. That's good that the offense is less wordy, less stuff for players to memorize. That's obviously, I think, in my opinion, a good thing for young quarterbacks, too. Rookie quarterbacks, less words, easier verbiage, easier to understand, makes it easier to command the huddle, easier to get the plays in and out of the huddle. I think that's a good thing for a young quarterback room in Kellen Moore's offense.
We tagged a lot of stuff last year, which each offense has their own thing like that. It's not like we're 2-word play calls, but I like that, we implement some tempo, some RPOs. You've seen what he's done with all these quarterbacks. And
He mentions tempo and RPO, something that stands about Kellen Moore's offenses is throughout time, and he even said this at his press conference, his introductory press conference as the head coach, is that they're going to play with a lot of tempo and speed. You look at his past offenses, they play with a little bit of no huddle, they play with a lot of tempo, they get to the line fast, they like to confuse the defense and basically catch them off guard. That's something very interesting. I also found it interesting he mentioned RPOs. That's something we haven't seen the Saints really run ever. I think they have had a few with Taysom Hill here and there, but nothing basic. I think that's a foundation of this Kellen Moore offense, is that they do have RPOs, but I'm assuming that should make life a little bit easier for these young quarterbacks because it's a half-field read, and if you're not going to throw it, you just hand it off to your back and let them go make a play.
skill position. So, definitely enjoyed watching his offenses from afar the last few years, and excited to be in it now.
There's a lot of really interesting stuff in here that Spencer Rattler said. I really like that he said the short language, the RPOs, the tempo. That stuff really stood out to me in this little short interview that he had at the Saints Hall of Fame Golf Tournament. But obviously the thing that stood out the most is what he had to say about his reaction to the team drafting Tyler Shough, that he wasn't surprised. And if you watch the rest of the interview, he said he's ready to compete with him. And it's Spencer Rattler's job to make sure that Tyler Shough doesn't see the field. By the time you're seeing this, the Saints quarterback battle has already begun at OTAs. Spencer Rattler's been preparing all offseason, and Tyler Shough right now is the favorite. We'll just have to see how it plays out, and that starts right now. Let me know down in the comments what you make of these comments from Spencer Rattler. It could be any of them. A lot of really interesting stuff here. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. We're super close to 10K. Help support the channel. Like the video. My name's Cash, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Peace.